Just about set for football. Blake Groupie is ready to get us started.
And off we go from Soldier Field.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
To throw, Williams. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
Looking to throw is Williams.
And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Second down and a yard. They'll run for the first time with DeAndre Swift.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
First down, and they go with Swift again.
Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle.
Second and 9 from the 44. Throwing is Williams. That's complete to DeAndre Swift out of the backfield.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 29-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
Looking left sideline, incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Williams.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call.
To the air, Williams.
Throw left side complete. That's Moore. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Throwing again here, Williams. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 12-yard line. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
Oh, there's going to be a little bit of regret there because they certainly had the chance to get off the field here, just giving up a field goal attempt. But they couldn't get that stop on 3rd down. Now they have to hunker down because guess what? That drive continues.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. From the gun, here's Williams. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Rome Odunze from 6 yards away. And the Bears get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Walking into the stadium, we saw a ton of people donning the jerseys of this rookie quarterback, so you know they love that opening drive, and he throws a touchdown pass.
He gave a little bit of confirmation about what they had hoped, right? Because they thought they had a quarterback. They're thinking they have a quarterback. You do this, they believe they've got a quarterback. Look up, elbowing each other up in the stands. That's our guy.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Louisville.
You want to talk about a driven player, partner. This guy is absolutely that person. He doesn't just have goals in this game. He wants to be remembered among the best to play the position, and he treats every game as an audition for that. It's a lofty goal to set for yourself, but we've seen his drive lead to some impressive games from him. Perhaps another one is in store today.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Dayo Odengbo. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll look to throw here. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long.
It gets this complete to Shaheed. It's a gain of 6, but not enough, as he'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game. So on 4th down, Matthew Hayball on to punt. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Once again, it's Swift. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. A handoff, Swift running to the left. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
To throw, it's Williams. They'll roll him out right, and he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a halt. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's got the connection to Moore. His 4th catch already in this first quarter. It's a first down. Looking to throw. Williams. And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 1. They'll fake the give. Now Williams. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
Back to throw again. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. And his throw's going to be incomplete. I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but maybe circle this play because if they get the stop and hold him to a field goal here, that's a pretty good job. They're already down on the scoreboard.
A stop now would be vital for them because it could save them from having to do it multiple times later in the game in order to either get back into it or maybe have a chance to win.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. A pass complete to Adunze. And they'll get him down short of the first down, right on the 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
Santos' kick is up and through. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. From the 42-yard line, here's the 2nd and 8. Looking to throw.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. On third down, he'll drop to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up fourth down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Here's Matthew Hayball now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here, as this is toward the sideline. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Two seconds to go, first quarter. Right back to Swift again on second down. And he will possibly get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. On the other hand, it will definitely take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession. And this offense on third down today, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Williams. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up second down. Play action. Now Williams. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On play action, here's Williams. Throw right side, taken in by Adunze. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. They go quickly here out to Moore. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run here with Swift. Oh, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage as he did just there.
On is Santos for the Bears field goal. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The New Orleans offense set to take over. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
2nd and 10. Now back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. They'll set up to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. The Bears offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. Off the play fake, it's Williams. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes you're...
And now some disagreement down on that sideline. The red flag is out, and we're going to get a challenge. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. Here's a 2nd and 5. They'll go play action here with Williams. And that'll be incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, The coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing is Williams. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. On the handoff, this is Swift. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Off the bootleg, it's Williams. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Cole Kmet, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. Here's Williams. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Rome Odunze with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bears are able to add on to that lead. In the 2nd quarter, and already his 2nd touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this first half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game. And I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
Santos now to add the PAT. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Here's 2nd and 8. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Kamara try the right side to the 36-yard line. Stop there. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll look to throw here. There's Chris Olave. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's Olave bringing in another one. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Back to throw here. Olave holds it in. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a 1st down. A give to Kamara running right. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Talk about controlling the football and controlling a drive. And with runs like that, they'll continue to do exactly that.
From the 5, here's 2nd and 2. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Touchdown, Saints. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Saints get a bit closer. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. Groupie able to add the PAT, and that cuts this lead down to 13. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. To the air, Williams. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only able to gain a couple there, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here comes the Bears punter now. Deep for New Orleans is Shough. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Well, the Saints offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. A throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there is no way that ball was going to be caught.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. He'll drop to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Now the first carry for Cam Akers. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Here comes the Saints punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Oh, nice move. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Bears take over. The home team's offense and their wideout getting set to go once more. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this first half. To throw, it's Williams. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Now 2nd and 3. Looking to throw is Williams. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. To throw, Williams. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Here's 2nd and 10. Williams going to look to throw again. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Wreaking havoc was Nathan Shepard, the D tackle. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Saints going to take over on offense to begin this third quarter. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives, try and slow things down a little bit.
They're going to look to throw. A quick throw there is incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Back to throw. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Gets this complete to Shough. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Again, he'll drop to throw. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. Second and a couple. They'll look to throw again. And his throw is incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. The pass caught by Olave. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Well, they opted not to run it. They completed the pass on 3rd and 2, but they lost yardage to bring up 4th.
Well, give credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They snuffed out the play. But it does bring into question, 1, the play call, because they didn't run the ball there. They could have run it. And 2, just not getting it. That's got to be deflating for them.
This is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense and Caleb Williams set to go to work once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
From the gun, here's Williams. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's a handoff to Swift. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
3rd and 4. Working out of the gun, Williams. A short throw there, that's to Smythe, the tight end. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The New Orleans offense set to take over. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. In motion left goes a tight end. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that is incomplete here.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara, and they're able to bring him down at the 20. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. This offense making its way back out, led by their wide receiver. And he was pretty much unguardable in that 1st half. You see the numbers there as they try to add to him here in this 3rd quarter. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Off the play fake, it's Williams. And he'll get this into the hands of Swift once again. And he goes out right around the 39. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. Throwing is Williams. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number one receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
Tyrann Mathieu showing off a bit on that stop. Really nice tackle for loss.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
Here's Williams. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Looking to throw. Williams. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Back to throw. Williams. And he can't hang on to it. And the screen never got started.
Well, they've had success getting the ball to him out of the backfield, but this time they had a man right on him. He was able to break that play up before he could get started.
So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive.
On play action, here's Williams.
That is caught and brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal.
They'll go play action here with Williams.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, you had an offense working with a comfortable 2-score lead here in the 3rd quarter and certainly doesn't feel as comfortable now following the turnover.
Yeah, you're right about that because now the nerves start to come into play a little bit. You're a little bit jangled. You don't want to give your opponents any avenues to get back into the game. What you'd rather do? Put up signs that say, roads closed.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Kamara up the middle. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll look to throw here. Olave holds it in. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. They'll fake the give. Now Williams. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 22 yards there, a first down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
Swift going to try up the middle. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down. Second and 7. Looking to throw is Williams. A pass complete to Adunze. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 27-yard line. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Play action. Now Williams. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Now a toss for Swift left side. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. 70 yards on the ground here for Swift, and he's got a first down as well.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there.
They'll run here with Swift.
And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Here's 3rd and 7. To throw, Williams. The throw out wide going to be incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
On is Santos for the Bears field goal.
This from 25 yards out. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So all things considered, that's not the final nail, but it does make things exceedingly difficult now on the other side.
Yeah, because obviously now with a 16-point game, the other guys don't need just 2 touchdowns. They need a couple of 2-point conversions as well. Plus, they'll need either a turnover or an onside kick in there somewhere. So you're just adding to the list of things that need to happen in sequence. And it's going to be a pretty tall order this late in the game.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Set to take over once again. Out comes the Saints offense.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Chris Olave.
74 yards.
And the Saints are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. A big spot now for the Saints as they'll indeed go for 2. They'll look to throw. And they're going to get the 2. It's caught. So they get the conversion, and now we're back to a 1-score game.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. The second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback. Because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
To the air, Williams.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll bring up a second down in just a couple.
Now a carry for Swift. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. 91 yards rushing for him now as he's toted it 21 times.
I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the fourth quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
To throw, it's Williams. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Looking to throw. Williams over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. On 3rd down, here comes Swift. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all.
Open man, he finds Komet. Touchdown, Chicago. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Bears have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here this 4th quarter. Well, to put it mildly, he's been able to dice up this secondary all game long. And this time, that was a missile that he threw into the end zone and adding another touchdown to his ledger.
And I think we see these youngsters develop a lot quicker than we ever have because when they get started in this game, they're not just throwing passes around. They're reading coverages early. So now they're like seasoned pros earlier in their career. How about this one here? If they win this ball game, a game ball definitely coming from his head coach.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Chris Olave heads back to the field as his guys get set for another possession.
Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation. The catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
He'll drop to throw.
Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. The Saints on 3rd down, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Back to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
This is caught. It's Cooks. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Again, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Try to get that one to Chris Olave, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Back to throw again. Touchdown! Alvin Kamara. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints are able to cut into that deficit. So this now a 9-point difference. You figure the book here says kick the extra point, make it a 1-score game.
Now, you and I have seen coaches get overly aggressive in this spot, but I agree with you. Kick it here and get back within a score.
And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. As this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it's polished off through the air with a touchdown to Alvin Kamara. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The home team's offense and running back DeAndre Swift headed back onto the field. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. 1st down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack. Boy, every time I see speed like that off the edge, Charles, I just don't know how these offensive linemen do it. I would think that they would get called for holding every play, and maybe they should have been called for holding on that one.
Yeah, maybe not just holding, but sometimes you end up setting back in the offensive backfield a little bit farther to try and help you with the edge. That's a penalty as well. Sometimes you overset, they'll come inside of you. That's what speed does. It disrupts an offense. And right now, you've got to pay attention to this edge rusher on every single down.
And that's good for a gain of 6. And 3rd and 8 now.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Here now a 3rd down and 8. From the gun, here's Williams. Zacchaeus here hauling it in. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So all eyes on the Saints offense. Down by 8, 2:21 the time left. They'll need to take this football a full 90 yards here as they've got it 1st and 10. In motion goes the tight end. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
I have a few questions about that throw because to me there just wasn't a lot there. I thought he tried to do a little bit too much, almost tried to will a receiver open when there was no chance he was going to be. Nice job by the linebacker being all over that one and knocking it away.
In motion, the tight end. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. That'll be taken in by Shough. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. On a huge mistake late, it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You've got to just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he will be brought down, but a 1st and goal coming up as we have come upon the 2-minute warning. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Swift is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. One more time with Swift. And this time he is in. Yes. DeAndre Swift taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bears have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. What a huge touchdown that was, obviously, here in the late stages of the 4th quarter as they try to put this one away.
And, Brandon, when they watch the film after this week, they'll be very proud of every rep if they close this game out. Just a few snaps remaining. They can't relax just yet.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now the Saints coming back out ready to go for this next drive. This is 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And oh, a dangerous throw there. Nearly intercepted on the sideline, but it's incomplete.
Late game situation, things seem to be unraveling just a little bit, and that's when you start forcing the football, mainly out of necessity. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete, nearly picked off.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. His throw incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Well, the elements, the crowd, the situation, this is NFL football at its best. Here's 3rd down. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
4th down, 10 yards to go.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done. As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
They'll look to throw again.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield, but as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Boy, this crowd is on pins and needles now because anytime you see the ball heading for the end zone, you really hold your breath, and they come out of their seats. That one falls incomplete.
Another try from the 14 on 2nd and 10.
They'll set up to throw.
To the sideline and incomplete.
And that's a wise decision. Remember, he threw the pick on the last drive. This time he says, I'm not forcing one. I'm just getting it out of here.
Well, this crowd is making an impact right now. 3rd and 10.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
And that one to the right side and incomplete.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play. But still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears get the win at home as we say so long from Soldier Field.